Wait, we're rolling? Shoot! This is Raymond Hayden. Welcome to Spin, Stories from the Green Room. And welcome, y'all. This is episode 5. And we are back for yet another episode. I haven't been canceled yet. I may have been canceled by a few people out there, but I haven't been canceled overall. Anyhow, so if you are new to Spin, my name is Raymond Hayden. I am the creator. Spin is Stories from the Green Room, specifically Stories from my Green Room. And I'm here to help push hope and hopefully inspire anyone out there who could use some uplifting. Anyway, so today we are at episode 5, Grieve the Astronaut debut. What is Grieve the Astronaut? Grieve the Astronaut is my solo band. I play in another band as well right now, but my solo band is called Grieve the Astronaut. The other band is Strangely Alright. We've been together for about 5 or 6 years. Check us out on strangelright.com. Back to Grieve the Astronaut. So Grieve the Astronaut is a band that was formed out of a simple conversation at lunch. Literally, my wife now and I went to have lunch with her mom and dad, and we were sitting at lunch and we were talking about how they had built this old house, built this new house, torn down a smaller other house. And when they were talking about that, I said, "Did you lose anything, during the when you were, breaking it down, or to build the new thing?" And Jessica's dad, Bobby, kind of chuckled and he said, "Well, Carol had this garden gnome kind of astronaut statue that kind of lost, and we never did find it." And then he just kind of chuckled and said, "She's been grieving the astronaut ever since." And literally, I looked at Jess and I was like, anyway, that's what I did. I was like, oh my God, that's a great band name. I've been chastised in the past for every time I hear something, think it's a great band name, but Grieve the Astronaut, it just resonated with me. And at the time, I thought it was just because it was a cool name. Yeah, it is a cool name. We've got lots of compliments over the year, and I've always kind of thought when people ask me how I came up with the name, I thought, I want to have something really deep and, philosophical and existential, and that's not what it was. Turns out it actually was, too, because things happen in our life for reasons and at the right times. And so anyway, after that lunch, I went back, and on the way home, I kept talking to my wife, Jessica. I was like, oh my God, I love this, and I would do whatever. 2 weeks later, I had a full album written. And, very obviously piano-driven progressive rock and roll. Not progressive like Rush or Kansas or Dream Theater, but just progressive in just some of the direction and in the way the songs were arranged and built. But, so when the song started, it was Chris Tussing. Remember him from the last episode at the drummer and also the studio owner for Broken. So Chris Tussing was the drummer. The bass player was a friend of mine named Ben Beeman, who now, and over the years has played in a lot of different bands, but, and myself. And we started the band, and at the same time, a really interesting situation happened with this young lady named Calissa Knox. It's a side note, but I'll kind of share that story with you real quick. So I had been told by a mutual friend of ours that there's this amazing savant young artist. Her name is Calissa Knox. And I'm giving you the short version, I promise. I eventually met her dad, Carl, who's a beautiful guy, up at the Cigar Lounge, which we always used to hang out, Smokey Joe's. Viva la Smokey Joe's. And he basically, I said, "Oh, you're Calissa's dad, great." And anyway, so I, exchanged a CD. I gave him he gave me one of her CDs, and I gave him my September Sky CD. You remember from a couple different episodes back. And he goes, "Well, thank you." Well, he took that home to Calissa, and turns out Calissa goes, "Oh, so Calissa had years earlier had gone to a Half Price Books and found my CD, A Door With Your Tears, on the ground for like 50 cents, which, by the way, Calissa, you still owe me money for that. 50 cents? Really? Come on, girl." Anyhow, she found that for 50 cents, bought it. It became one of her favorite CDs, and she didn't know I was local. She thought I was just some national guy. To this day, it's still very humbling to know that. Fast forward, I was taken to their church to go, Brook Lake Church, and by Ian McMurrin, and also by her dad, Carl Knox, and mom, Sherry Knox, and we met. Well, we met there. So Calissa and I met, and I said, "Hey, I just started this band, Grieve the Astronaut. How would you like to come and sit in a rehearsal and just kind of see a brand new band start?" So she came to the very first rehearsal we had. She sat on the floor and just watched us, and when it was done, You could tell she was getting into it. I said, "Hey, Calissa, as the guys are tearing down, do you want to go ahead and play a little bit for them?" And she's like, "Sure," because she'll play. She's an amazing player. So she sat down, started playing, and of course everybody was mesmerized, and we all looked at each other and we're like, "Join the band!" And so she, I think we scared her a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm kind of sure we did. Sorry about that, Callie. You can get us back later. Anyway, so she joined the band. So it ended up being Chris Tussing, Ben Beam, and myself on piano, and Callie on synth and strings. And she also wrote a song called Innocence for the Grieve the Astronaut debut album. And fast forward, we did some shows at 3 shows at Auburn Avenue Theater. And fast forward, that's how the band came together. All the songs on the album were songs about hope, and starting to really realize that we should empathize with each other more and have more grace with each other and just rule by love. The song name, band name, came out of a happenstance conversation at lunch, but turns out the reason it resonated with me so much is because I was starting to really feel the loss of hope in humanity. I know it sounds really deep, but seriously, I was really feeling that. The snowball starting to get bigger and bigger, and so it really, really resonated. It's a very powerful name to me for that reason, and a lot of people throughout the years have just said it. Most recently, we had some really cool big artists congratulate us and really like our name. But anyway, so Grieve the Astronaut, you can check it out, grievetheastronaut.com if you want to find out more. There's videos and songs and all the music, and there's more coming up about the current status of that band soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to Spin.